Good afternoon, everyone. Quick one. I want to do a kind of explanation on how this kind of inverter usually got damaged easily during installation. Because a lot of installers, they don't actually understand the internal um, circuits and wiring of inverter. They only depends on the external connection. This inverter was brought dead. All the MOSFETs got bad. I did a video on that I showed how you can easily troubleshoot inverter that got burnt, and I have I have a terms I called resuscitating process, which is one of my technical methods that I use in reviving inverter that got bad. Now, whenever you have an inverter that the cable that has a permanent cable mains cord, that has a permanent mains cord, an inbuilt mains cord with it from the manufacturer. This kind of design, you need to be very extra careful when you are doing your load separation and when you are terminating the inputs to the system. Now, let me do a quick explanation on that. I'm going to do as fast as I can because of time, because I'm very thrifty with my time. So I'm going to be very fast as I can. The system has, this is the inverter, okay? The inverter has the live and the neutral, which is the outputs. Then it has the inputs. We have the live and the neutral. Then the battery connection. This is the only DC section of it. The other two sections are AC. Okay. Now, inside the system, after the topology, after the connection of the MOSFET board and all that, through the relay, the ATS section and all that, the neutral part of it, of the outputs, and the neutral of the inputs is bonded. Which I refer as internal bonding. Inside the system is bonded. Now, the output has a socket. This is the output, has a socket. This is the output socket, okay? And from the from the standard, okay, from the UK standard, and for these D-type sockets, if you look at this device that I shared a video recently, if you look closely, you will notice that the neutral is always at the right hand side. Look at the neutral. I don't think if you can see that. Can you see? Sorry, the neutral is always at the left hand side. Sorry, the left hand side. Okay, this is the neutral. So this is the neutral. It's always placed as at the left hand side. So this is the neutral. the live is always placed at the right hand side, which generally this side is always the earth. This is the symbol. That's where it goes to the ground. Now you can see the neutral is facing this side. Now if you look closely inside, you will notice you only have one cable here, all right, but you have multiples of cable here. That side you have multiples of cables is because you have that side is where you have bonding. You have the neutral, so it's that side do have multiples of cables because that is the neutral line, all right. The lifeline will only have just a single cable going to the relay. The relay part is coming here, all right. If you trace this cable properly, the blue cable, after passing through the ATS, I mean the changing over, the manual changeover here, this is a manual changeover, all right. So this is going to select between the direct line. This changeover is wired this way, is wired input live, all right. Then you have the output live, then another input live, so this one can be input live from means direct source, while this one can be another input, meaning inverter output, okay. So that's why you have this as a kind of switch that you can easily select between here or here, then the output will be. So if you look at the black cable, so there's a, so if you look at this, we have, if you study properly, you notice a cable is going to be a common. This is the common, is regarded as the common, all right. This is the common. So the common, we have to go here. So the common here is the yellow cable. Look at this cable, that's the common cable, all right, which comes here. Why this cable is also the same as the output cable with the transformer terminal. One of the transformer terminal is looped directly here, directly to this red cable, and it's also the output cable. So that's how the manual changeover. That's why you can easily you can see the